Welcome back, everybody, to Caravan of Garbage, where we're going to be going through 4 RoboCop movies.
That's correct. And well, look, we're doing this for 2 reasons. 1, because RoboCop Rogue City, the video game, is coming out.
That's right.
And 2, at least one of these movies is really good.
I can't wait to get to it. The one where he's got the jetpack.
That's right.
I always said from day one, why doesn't this guy have a jetpack?
Right, for jetting about.
Okay, I've got a confession to make.
Uh-oh.
For one, I would love everybody to leave a like on this video. And I've got another confession to make, Mason.
Well, is this a confession that would cause RoboCop to, like, apprehend you and or shoot you in the nuts?
Let's see.
He's going to shoot you in the nuts.
I'll leave a poll below.
Okay. He doesn't leave a poll below. Because he shoots you in the nuts.
Yeah, shoots you in the nuts.
Yeah.
There's that scene also. People will probably want us to mention it.
Oh, yeah, we'll talk about that later.
The remake. But as a kid, I was more of a Terminator person.
Okay.
Like, I watched those first 2 movies again and again.
That's how you would introduce yourself at, like, after-school events. Hi, I'm a Terminator person.
I actually think Terminator 1 is better than Terminator 2.
Oh,
not a lot of people think that.
Your brother thinks that.
Yeah, well, he's wrong. Or he's right. They're both pretty good, actually.
Your brothers? No.
No.
Only one's good.
I did not say that. So I came to this when I was a little bit older, like in my teens. But what an incredible movie.
I was going to say I was first introduced to this via trading cards.
Oh, let's talk
Because I had the
about
RoboCop trading cards. From Tops, you'd get the cards and the bubble gum.
Yeah.
Very normal trading cards.
Very normal.
Outlined all the stuff in the movie. Just a man getting his arms and legs shot off.
Well, there's also the one where the guy who's been melted by toxic waste.
Yes.
That's a trading card.
Yeah.
This was in the era, and we see this series go in that direction where they would release something like this, and they'd also just be a bunch of toys for kids.
Yeah.
There wasn't really the kind of G to PG action franchises, the way that they're more is kind of now.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It was really that element of there was a movie and it was violent and grown up, but it sort of had that sci-fi aspect to it, and like older kids would maybe show it to younger kids, or like, you know, your parents would watch it and then you would see it. In my case, I saw it at the local video shop and I said, Dad, I'm 9 years old. Can we rent this? And he went, sure, I guess. And I watched it.
And you watched it.
And it wrecked my brain, James.
I bet it did.
This is why I'm like this.
Did you love the moment where after the guy gets all melted, he gets hit by the car and he just sloshes apart?
Absolutely.
Like his skin was barely holding him together.
His head comes off like a balloon. It's incredible. And you know what? The absolute restraint of both director Paul Verhoeven and the actor Kurtwood Smith, he does not turn on the windscreen wipers. He could. They would now, but he didn't then.
That's great. I mean, this movie should really be called Squibs in Stop Motion. Because this is where it's at, man.
Yeah, that's
My goodness. Just the level of squibbing in this. So excessive.
Yeah.
In the best kind of way. Now, I don't know if you noticed this.
Go on.
And not a lot of people do pick up on this. Let me know in the comments. But there's actually a bunch of real-world parallels in this, Mason.
What?
Yeah.
So this isn't just pure fantasy.
It's actually, there's a tinge of satire running through this.
Is that the term for this?
Yeah.
Cue all the comments saying no, there isn't. It's a real common thread among Paul Verhoeven movies. Just people going, no, it's just. I think that those men wearing all the all-black uniforms with the insignia on them and fighting the bugs. I don't think that's a metaphor for anything.
No, it's nothing.
It's just normal.
It's just killing bugs. You never killed a bug? It's like that. Yeah. But they're bigger. They're bigger bugs. I mean, I know it's been talked about that this kind of predicted the future of news, but news was kind of like this at the time anyway. I mean, it's worse now, but just the idea of this just scattershot nightmare of information.
Yeah, all delivered with a smile.
Yeah.
It's actually quite quaint. 3 minutes.
Yeah.
A lot of this, look, I love this movie. I think most of it has aged really, really well. And I think the satire you were calling it, is that what this is? This satire?
That's what some say.
Interesting.
I think
it definitely still holds up, but I do feel like some elements of it are a little bit quaint. One is that I feel like the new stuff of like, give us 3 minutes, we'll give you the world. I'm like, that's actually quite a lot these days. And also my favorite aspect I think that hasn't aged well is, if we can jump right to the end, it's the point where RoboCop goes to the boardroom, the OCP boardroom, and he shows the OCP executives the evidence of Dick Jones admitting to killing Bob Morton. And Dick Jones immediately grabs a gun and takes a hostage. And I feel like in the present day, you could show someone irrefutable evidence of an executive admitting to a murder, and he'd go, "That wasn't me."
Yeah, exactly.
And if it was me, probably you guys probably on my side actually. So, and it was photoshopped, and that guy was an actor, but it's not me. And you'll hear from my lawyers. And I'm rich, so nothing will happen to me.
You're actually going to jail.
That's right.
Yeah.
You're going to jail for unauthorized use of our audio-video system. So...
Absolutely. I do love, though, this is a world where it happens twice in this. Board members are gunned down in front of people, and everyone's just like, well, get in the elevator. Miguel Ferrera's just like, I think this is my opportunity.
Right?
There's a window here for me.
Yeah.
Not to fall out of.
No.
But to take a step up. But then be tortured at home. But yeah, just the ineffective police force, corporate decision-making, just ruining communities.
The fact that Ed 209 sucks.
I love
like
that
the
so
fact
much.
that there is no real confrontation between RoboCop and Ed 209 at the end. Because Ed 209 sucks, he's been deliberately made badly.
Yeah.
He's like a puppy that's been kicked too many times. or a puppy that's been inbred.
Yeah.
Like for too long, so he can't go up and down stairs. Because they're like, well, you know what? We'll sell this to everybody and it won't work. But they're locked in a contract, so they'll have to upgrade. And
They'll figure it out.
We'll make some extra billions off this.
Yeah.
You know?
Just the idea of having one of these out on the street and just doing anything. I love that. And I wish we could actually see it. And I know they circle back to this in the remake, which we'll come back to in a few weeks. But yeah, just incredible. And what an amazing piece of special effect as well. Piece of special effect?
A wonderful piece of special effect.
Yeah.
We should give it our coveted piece of special effect award. But yeah, I'm sure I've been critical of stop motion in the past, but it's got that Ray Harryhausen vibe.
I've seen videos where people have smoothed out the stop motion, and I think it makes it worse. I think there is something about the kind of the mechanical nature of its movements which help this movie. Yeah, even though you think it's bad. Is that what you said?
I did say that,
Or you don't get it?
I'm giving it our coveted worst of special effect award.
Whoa!
That's right.
Anyway, RoboCop himself... The reveal of that character I love. Like, it's a slow reveal because you're given time to kind of really sit in the horror and also the joy that people have in putting this monstrosity together.
Absolutely. And the reveal essentially goes over the entire movie because we never even really see what he looks like until the start of the third act when he's, trapped in the industrial district and he finally takes the helmet off and you see what he has become.
Yeah.
And Peter Weller is he's the perfect RoboCop.
Incredible.
Many have tried to replicate it, and they've done the best they can. But man, he projects the humanity when he's in the robot form, and like when he's just Alex Murphy, he's not a gung-ho Superman. He's just a guy who's there to do a job, and I really like that.
He's an okay cop.
That's right. It's pretty.
Maybe. We don't really know.
We don't really know because we see him do cop stuff for like 10 minutes.
Yeah. And it doesn't go well.
But here's the thing though, and this is something I only picked up on this rewatch, but I guess it was obvious, it's been obvious at the time that he gets transferred to Detroit and then Bob Morton points out later that they've been moving people around, suitable candidates for the RoboCop program.
Yeah.
So they moved him there because they knew sooner or later he'd get killed and he'd be the perfect person to put in the suit.
They've got 8 or 9 people just running about, and they're just rubbing their hands.
Yeah,
just
that's
waiting,
right.
yeah.
That guy with the mustache who's always wants to go on strike. He was probably number one candidate for RoboCop.
Definitely.
But he just wouldn't die.
He probably died the next day.
That's right. Well, chuck him in a bin, I guess.
So when in full RoboCop costume, apparently Peter Weller would remain in character between takes, and he would only respond to instructions from director Paul Verhoeven when he was addressed as Robo. Apparently Verhoeven, though, found this too funny, and then he just dropped it after a couple of weeks.
All right, okay.
Also, I feel like Robo, as a nickname, it doesn't
really work, yeah.
Doesn't work, do you think?
Yeah. Robbo is better.
Robbo's way better. Apparently also, people know this, he was just dying in the suit.
Yeah.
It was between $500,000 to $1 million for the suit to get it from its inception to where it was. I went through like a Judge Dredd kind of phase at one point where it just looked like Judge Dredd.
Oh, interesting. Well, I was going to say, the one thing that I love is in rewatching this, I've also been watching on YouTube a bunch of interview and Comic-Con stuff with Peter Weller.
Yeah.
He comes out and he's very nice and he answers a lot of questions. And then he'll often meet fans, many of whom have built their own 3D printed RoboCop suits. And I bet he's like, damn, that looks light. That looks light and airy.
Probably just in and out of that, I reckon.
Yeah. Almost certainly has a zip off to pee, you know what I mean?
Absolutely, yeah. Well, he was losing 3 pounds a day in water weight, and the first fitting took 11 hours. And you can see that especially when the mask comes off, and the way it just looks like his head is sewn into that thing. They make it look like there's negative space where they've chipped parts out of him. And all this mime work that he did beforehand, he based it more on kind of snake-like movements.
Right.
He's like, I can't do this. So he had to learn to move again. And I mean, talking about things that I don't think anybody's really nailed since, the movement that he does.
Yeah.
And it's not even over the top robot, is it?
No.
Like little head turns, the way he'll take a corner, just little things, really subtle.
He'll drink some oil.
He'll drink some oil.
You know?
Yeah.
He'll kiss an electrical socket.
I just think the way it all comes together, Rob Bottin designed this, but you know, his performance, every reaction he has, the sound design, the leg holster.
Oh, incredible. The data spike.
Yeah.
As soon as that comes out in the movie, that's Chekhov's data spike. You know somebody's going to cop that right in the neck by the end, and they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also like that he's not really built for good, and sometimes he's just not doing good. There's a moment where he wrecks a convenience store.
Yeah.
The money those criminals would have taken is not worth what you did to this store.
That's true, yeah.
I mean, amazing.
Oh, also, did you know this fun fact? The RoboCop gun and the Judge Dredd gun from Judge Dredd, same gun.
Same gun, different attachments?
That's correct, yeah.
Wait, which Judge Dredd?
Judge Dredd.
Stallone Judge Dredd.
Stallone Judge Dredd, yeah.
We've looked at both of those movies.
That's right.
And not only that, we did videos on them. Okay. There's one thing I think we are in agreement on this movie.
Okay.
Something that doesn't hold up. It's the one thing.
It's stop motion, or it's some
puppet on
some
green
puppet
screen?
work. It's puppet work.
Yeah.
It is really what it is. It's when RoboCop finally, when the old man fires Dick Jones,
Yep.
and then it cancels out RoboCop's directive for that he can't arrest or otherwise riddle with bullets an OCP employee, and he shoots Dick Jones a whole bunch of times, and
Yep.
then he falls out a window. And
That's all great.
That's all great. Oh, that's all great.
Up until that point.
Oh my God. There's the point where Bob Morton's buddy's like, yeah, get him, RoboCop. Yeah. I love that guy. I do not have the actor's name in front of me, but what incredible performance from that guy.
It's on the screen, don't
Just
worry.
being a great buddy, and I love that.
Yeah.
But when Dick Jones falls out, he just becomes this. He's got Kermit arms, is what happens with that guy. And I feel like, you know, we often get, you know, people like Corridor Crew, you know, amazing VFX guys will add some visual effects to some scenes, or like you said, smooth out the movement of Ed 209.
Yeah.
But all I'm saying is, like, shave off 6 inches from each of those arms, you know?
And it's the perfect movie.
It,
That being said, it's great. It's a great moment.
Yeah.
Because it looks so weird.
yeah. Also great. Nancy Allen is great as
really good.
as Lewis, at least in part because it's not a romantic relationship.
Yeah.
Like, they're just work buddies for that 15 minutes before Murphy gets riddled with bullets.
Yeah, he gets
but
shot.
But you know, she's competent, she's cool.
Yeah.
I love that.
She recognizes who he is.
Kurtwood Smith, of course, as
Yep.
Clarence Boddicker with his little Heinrich Himmler little glasses. Just a perfect...
Does that mean anything?
No, I wouldn't think so. Nah. Just a weird future 1980s psycho with big slacks on.
Boy, does he.
Oh, those slacks are so big.
Yeah. Just complete disregard for everybody around him.
And his crew. Just great faces and just great reacts, you know?
We've talked about this before, and you might see it in a car chase in, say, like a Marvel movie where it's all black SUVs and all the villains' henchmen are just kind of like guys that vaguely look the same, tactical-ish.
And you sort of lose track of how many there are and what have you.
Who's who. Whereas this, they all have their personalities and
their big hair.
And their big hair.
And their big slacks.
One of them melts.
Yep.
He melts, he gets melted.
Melty Emil,
That's
yep.
memorable. There's effort in the little details.
Yeah. As I understand it, Paul Verhoeven passed on this script originally.
Yeah.
He's
he
like,
was
I don't get this.
No.
I don't get this.
I don't even think he read it. I think his wife read it.
Yeah, right.
And then was like, actually, there might be something going on here.
Yeah.
Might be something just under the surface. I don't know if that's true.
Paul, you could use some of your famous satire. And he's like, I won't be doing that. I do not believe in satire. I will not.
Do you know what it's time for?
What's it time for?
It's time for this section of the show where we do a little bit of trivia. This time it's called Trivia Cop.
Love that.
Thank you.
What about ATAB? What do you call it? ATAB?
ATAB?
All trivia are bastards.
Okay. Peter Weller.
It's unrelated, though.
No.
It's unrelated.
All trivia is, this is a bastard to put together.
Yeah, I bet.
I watch a bunch of behind the scenes. A lot of it's pointless. A lot of them just feel like promo. It's just promo. Being like, I love working on this movie. And I'm like, I don't believe you.
I don't care for that. This took me 11 hours to get in this suit, and then I had to act.
Peter Weller only wore the top half of the RoboCop outfit and underwear in the car. Otherwise, he wouldn't fit. There are no complete shots of him getting out of the car. Similar to Batman 89, actually. In Sacramento, California, a robbery suspect, this is a true story, fled into a darkened movie theater to escape pursuing police. Sounds like the movie RoboCop.
Oh, yeah.
He became so engrossed in the movie RoboCop, which was playing on the screen, that he failed to notice that the police had evacuated all the other patrons from the theater. When the lights flipped on, the stunned man was taken into custody.
When the lights flipped on, do you mean at the end of the movie?
Well, I was going to say, did he get to finish the movie?
It's...
Did he stay till the end of the credits?
The cops were like, no, let him.
Yeah, there might be something after the credits.
Let him have this before we take him out to the car park and beat him up.
Because the hands of the RoboCop suit were made from foam rubber, the car keys, in that scene where he catches the keys, would bounce off Peter Weller's hand every time he attempted to catch them. The production took up to 50 takes and an entire day's worth of filming before finally getting that shot right.
That's like that Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Tobey Maguire took a million takes.
156.
156, yeah.
Other movies we've both watched and done videos on.
Had they considered just putting the keys in his hands and then reversing the shot?
No.
Okay.
They didn't, obviously. They obviously didn't consider that,
Yeah,
Mason.
yeah. Well, if you're Paul, if you're ever in that situation again, Paul and Peter, if you're ever in that situation again, might I recommend putting the keys in his hand and reversing the shot? I'm just saying.
Also, like, Tobey Maguire caught an entire tray of food.
That's true.
It's more impressive. Catching a set of keys. A dog could do that. Last bit of trivia, Mason.
Dog would love to do that.
Yeah, I know. Last bit of trivia. Former President Richard Nixon was hired to promote the home video release for $25,000. He donated the money to the American Boys Club. Also, you're not going to believe what the American Boys Club have recently been in trouble for, Mason.
Is it using $25,000 for too much good?
No, it's bad.
Oh.
They did bad stuff.
That's a
Mason.
shame.
The suggested VHS sale price for the movie was $89.98.
Whoa.
They were expensive, weren't they?
Talk about a dystopian future. My goodness.
Not wrong.
Wow.
My goodness.
Could build my own RoboCop for that.
You could. The box office for this, on a budget of $13.7 million, brought in $53.4 million.
Okay.
Which is exceptionally good, considering that it's obviously for a very specific audience.
Right, yes.
Of a certain age. But the biggest movies of that year were things like Three Men and a Baby and Fatal Attraction, which had similar budgets, but they brought in, one of them $240 million and the other $320 million. But I guess the thing about those movies compared to this one was that this one has franchise and merchandise potential.
That is very true, yeah.
Because next week, of course, we're going to be coming back to RoboCop number 2.
Have you seen RoboCop 2?
Yeah, I've seen it, yeah.
Interesting. Irvin Kershner directed
He
that.
did.
The guy who directed Empire Strikes Back, for people who don't know.
He did.
Wild.
Yeah. That's a good movie. Welcome back, everybody, to Caravan of Garbage, where we're talking RoboCop, or some people call him Robot Cop.
Nobody calls him that.
Some people do. At least one person we both know does that. It's me. Now, off the success of the first RoboCop, obviously there was franchise potential in that. The studio recognized it. Toy companies recognized it.
Toy potential, yes, please.
Video game companies recognized it. And people who make sequels, which was the movie company, we're circling back.
Okay.
They recognized it.
Oh, yeah, what'd they do about it?
Well, they thought, let's RoboCop 2.
Oh, let's RoboCop 2.
Yeah.
And initially they're like, maybe RoboCop 2, TOO question mark? Maybe one of those, because it was the era for that, wasn't it?
I like it.
RoboCop 2. But then they were like, nah, just a number.
Just the number's fine. Now, I think it's all right.
It is all right.
Yeah.
You're not wrong. I don't know if you know this, James, but if you go to IMDb, they have a list of plot keywords for every movie, and you can tick whether they're helpful or not. So here we go. James, you ready?
I'm ready.
Child swearing.
Yep.
Very helpful.
Big tick.
No title at beginning. Impossible to know, isn't it?
I don't know.
Number 3, RoboCop character. Now, one person has said that's helpful, and 3 people have said child swearing is helpful. That's pretty good. Actress reprises previous role, certainly. Nancy Allen's back with a fresh new hair.
Your hair looks lovely that way.
Underused.
She is underused, absolutely. Yeah, she's been pushed to the background. I'll just give you a couple more. United States of America.
Perfect.
Very helpful. Cyborg versus Cyborg. Dead boy.
What?
And boy killed.
Oh, yeah.
And this one just says bust.
Bust.
Which is true, but not as true as the previous one.
Bust.
I'll buy that for $1, you know what I mean, James?
Oh, I get ya. I thought because, he's a twitching puppet for a lot of this.
Okay. Oh, he's a bust, like a bust
Yeah.
like the bust of Mozart or whatever in Bruce Wayne's drawing room.
Exactly.
That's really interesting.
I bet if you did open his head, there'd be a button on the neck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what's interesting is when I was a kid, I taped this movie off the TV.
Yeah.
And I wore that tape out. Mm-hmm. Enjoyed the heck out of it.
You put a leash around it and you ran it around the park.
That's exactly right. And if I was really good, my parents would let me have a real pet. But let me tell you this, having rewatched this now as an adult, boy, that TV version, they really cut some stuff out.
Does the kid die in the version you saw?
Yeah, but he's not like riddled with bullets.
Okay. They just find him dead.
Yeah, that's right. There's fewer slurs in my version on VHS.
Sure.
They absolutely cut out that bit where a sniper gets shot right through the eye.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a good one,
That's a good bit. That's something you want to see as a kid.
Well, I was going to say, what's interesting about this is a movie that, you know, would have been a big mainstream title back in the day.
Yeah.
And it has some stuff you would never see in a mainstream title now. Like,
absolutely not.
Like there's cops getting riddled with bullets and blown up.
Yep.
At one point, just a couple of TV news reporters get shot.
Well, obviously the people behind these movies, if we can circle back to the movie studios who make these.
Oh yeah, I've heard of them.
They also realized that after this movie, considering what came next.
Yeah.
I also think as a result of all that and how violent it is and, you know, the slurs and the kid murder and whatever, there's a lot of subtlety that's lost here. Like the messaging is too heavy-handed. The new OCP flag, it's just a Nazi flag.
Yeah.
You know, the crime reports, they're not funny. They're just kind of ludicrous.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. This one is, I understand what they were going for.
Yeah.
And I think as a kid, I thought a lot of it was very funny. But compared to the first one, it is quite kind of ham-handed.
Yeah.
Like there's ads for that
car-
Magnavolt, the car security system that electrocutes the car thief to death.
And it's got that guy.
It's got the guy who plays Lex Luthor's dad in Smallville.
Lionel Luthor. And he voices the Riddler. What's his name?
John Glover.
John Glover.
Yes.
Nice. I thought he was going to pop up again.
He's the Floronic Man in Batman and Robin.
He's Gremlins 2 CEO.
Oh my God, he is.
Yeah.
This guy's everywhere.
I guess what I would have loved to have seen from this is that it's Aliens to Alien, it's Terminator 2 to Terminator 1, and it's just not in that kind of
And I'll
league.
tell you one thing that even as a kid I noticed,
Yeah.
and I did not care for it. It feels like even before the sequence where RoboCop is torn to pieces and put back together, it feels like at the start of the movie he got reset to factory settings.
Yes.
Because at the end of the first one, the old man from OCP says, "Hey, what's your name?" And he goes, "Murphy." And he's got his personality back and he's a man again. And it's like, well, how's he going to reckon with that and still being on the police force? And how's that going to go? And I guess they just went, no, he's just a cold, unfeeling robot again. And he's just kind of weird. Like, it's better for the plot if he's inhuman and robotic, but he has memories of his family and he wants to go back and terrorize them.
That's interesting because, like, there's a lot of that is explored early on. Like, he's visiting them. She comes to visit him. He basically tells her, even though it seems not to be true, that he's more of a homage to the memory of Murphy.
That's right.
You know,
I'm a bust.
I'm a homage, baby. I'm a bust. Think of me as somebody taking the face of your dead husband and stretching it over a robot.
I mean, sure, we could have made him look really cool and handsome and charismatic, you know, for the public. But they decided to make him a freak, you know, to honor your husband.
But I think that's a very interesting narrative. And they do explore that in the reboot, which we'll get to. But it doesn't go anywhere. At the end, he's like, well, we're only human or whatever. And that's just kind of it, really. Like, I think in a lot of this, he's purposefully hiding his humanity from everybody around him because it's upsetting to him and probably to them. But also he might not be.
Yeah. But again, never really resolved. I think they were too excited to do the plot, which is basically, what if RoboCop versus Ed 209, but Ed 209 wasn't useless?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know,
which is a solid idea. Okay, so look, I think Peter Weller, incredible, still brings all of that. The suit is now constructed purely of fiberglass, which means he had more freedom in terms of movement and easier to get in and out of. How do you feel now that it looks kind of faker that it's bluer though, right?
Look, I think we didn't in the last video. I don't think we really got across how iconic the suit is.
Well, this is about RoboCop 2, so I don't know if that's something we can circle back to.
I don't think we can then. Okay, well, whatever, you know.
But you're right. What a design, right?
It is. They've made it blue now, which is more police, I guess. But apparently they did that because in the original, the silver sheen was reflecting the camera a lot.
Sure,
so they were like, we got to find a hue that doesn't do that. So,
yeah, absolutely.
But then again, they fixed it in 3. So
they did.
Yeah.
So it's blue, you're saying, and they harvested a bunch of materials to give it that specific color.
I would never say that.
Is what you're saying.
I would never say
okay,
that.
that's all right. That's all right. Okay, here's some good moments that I like, though. The moment where he's ambushed in the factory and they just pull him apart.
Yeah.
And then he's a wiggling bust.
Yeah,
I love all of that.
That's right.
Really good animatronic face on that
I
as
agree.
well.
Yeah, because initially you're like, how'd they do that? Fully artificial guy.
That's
I guess.
right, yeah.
But it's interesting, why didn't they just kill him? I guess to prove that they're the new bosses of Detroit or
that
something.
they could if they wanted to.
Probably should have.
Yeah, they should have, because he came back and fucking RoboCop'd them all.
RoboCop, he RoboCop the heck out of all. Well, RoboCop 2 really RoboCop the heck out of most of them.
It's true.
Oh, that's another thing they took out in the version that I saw. RoboCop 2 just rocking his girlfriend's head back and forth like it's in a paint shaker. They cut that out for the TV version. Let me tell you.
You're not wrong. I think the new directives that he has, that's a fun idea.
That is a fun idea,
Just bogged down in corporate bureaucracy where he's completely ineffective.
I think he has some funny comedic moments, and I
Yes.
think Peter Weller really sells those.
Where that guy's dead and he's like holding the corpse and giving him a talking to.
And then he does the quick robo double take.
Yeah.
That is great. Yeah.
I think the fact that they made the CEO in this just flat out evil makes sense, because he would be. He runs this corporation.
That's right. I feel like maybe in RoboCop 1 we saw his one good week.
Yes.
And the rest of it he's mostly like RoboCop 2. Yeah.
Exactly. I love that one of the gags is just a little league baseball team.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That's fun.
That's sort of reminiscent of the Warriors kind of
Definitely,
thing.
yeah. So there was also a big concern from audiences and Siskel and Ebert that the boy who was put in this,
Hob is his name.
yes, that violent little boy, was put there intentionally to appeal to kids in a movie that's not a kid's movie, that the news of this boy would filter down to them.
Okay, you can be killed by RoboCop. If you work hard in the drug trade, maybe one day a RoboCop will machine gun you.
RoboCop 2 in this particular case.
And you'll die in a big pile of money. And isn't that what you want, kids?
Absolutely. I think also there's a moment in this where, he gets his groove back, aka he shoots a bunch of people, including that guy, through the eye.
Yeah.
But that's when I realized watching this that the pace in this is fucked. Like the first one is so tight.
Yeah.
There's not a wasted second. And in that moment, I was like, oh, this is kind of like the end. And it's an hour in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it does definitely pick up, because after that, there's a great moment where RoboCop is on the front of a truck and he's getting like ground against the wall and he's riding a motorbike and all of that.
Please.
That's really good. And it definitely picks up when CaneBoCop turns up and, as that horrible top-heavy stop-motion monstrosity.
Yeah. So the plot of this one, of course, is that they haven't found a replacement for RoboCop. Alex Murphy's the only cop that can be. He's the only man thus far that can be transformed into a RoboCop and not immediately kill himself.
I think he was just shot the right way by accident.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. But and so they've got to find one, and Dr. Fax.
Yeah.
She comes to the conclusion that perhaps
She's great, by the way.
She's pretty
Australian,
good. Yeah. She comes to the conclusion that perhaps what they should be doing is looking outside of the police force, and they decide instead to use drug kingpin Kane to turn into a RoboCop. His brain is removed from his body, and it's popped into this thing, and so how people in his circle can recognize him is the helmet pops open, and a big TV pops out with like a 1990s like sub-max headroom CGI version of his face.
Lawnmower Man
And
monstrosity.
it pops open, and his girlfriend gets a good look at it and goes, "Oh my God, it's you!" And it's like, "Are you kidding me? It could be anybody. It could be anybody on Earth."
Yeah, you're not wrong. It's not the best use of CGI in a movie.
No.
But I think it gets the point across.
Sure.
That he's a face on a TV or whatever. And he loves drugs because he needs drugs to be the RoboCop or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's got any interest in being in the RoboCop, because there's a big final fight at the end. And this is, I feel, like the pinnacle of this blend of live action and stop motion. Or it's go motion. Go motion is when you add that kind of motion blur to it.
I see.
Which Phil Tippett worked on this, and that was the original idea for the first Jurassic Park. Because the idea to do that on computers was like ludicrous, making dinosaurs that way.
Yeah, they look like Max Headroom.
It looked like Max Headroom, exactly. But the idea was this time, as you mentioned, to make him more intimidating, like a powerful version of Edward 209. And I think it's a little busy, but I think intentionally, right?
Yeah, right.
And it's supposed to be top heavy, like a bodybuilder with skinny little legs. But he can navigate the world, and he is clearly built very efficiently for murder.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, got all of that right.
And there's the moment where RoboCop jumps. Speaking of, finally like composited action.
Yeah.
There's the moment where RoboCop jumps onto his back. and it swaps from, I guess, a guy in a stuntman RoboCop suit to the stop motion.
Yeah.
Like it's real. Like it's seamless.
It's really great. So yeah, there was a stop motion RoboCop as well. When they're in the frame together, but kind of at a distance, it's rear projection with stop motion in front of it. And they also built like the upper torso of Kane when he's like on the top and like pulling his brain out and whatever. So yeah, they used different elements and the hands and whatnot, the different hands that he has. And he goes clank, clank, clank. I'm gonna twist your head.
Speaking of stuff removed from the TV version, the bit where they take Kane's brain out and then they just show him his face, like what's left of his skull. They've taken his entire head off and they're like, what do we do with this? Chuck it in the bin, I guess. Sure. I don't know. We got this TV. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Yeah. Anyways, there's a couple of versions of this before we got here. And I'm going to talk about the original one after we do some trivia. But let's get into specifically the comic book creator and creator in general, Frank Miller, because he showed up on set every day during filming, even though he was not required to. And you might be like, why was that? Well, it's because he wrote this version of the script, some of it to a point.
I thought you were going to say he wrote Batman Year One.
Yeah, no,
he's like, I deserve to be here. You read that? It's great. I'll show up wherever I want. Hand out copies.
That's fair. So Paul Verhoeven wasn't interested in coming back. He went on to Total Recall after the first one. But director Alex Cox was asked to direct RoboCop 2, but he turned it down. He greatly disliked the original screenplay by Frank Miller. And in an interview with The Guardian, he said, unlike the original RoboCop, which trod a path between right-wing politics and left-wing irony, Miller's script was reactionary and obnoxious, pitting its robot police hero against homeless people. No wonder he's so popular with the Hollywood 1%ers. Ooh! Sick burn. I've got more sick burns though.
Oh yeah.
Michael Medeiros, who played Katso, the Elvis-looking one in the gang, recalls Irvin Kershner. By the way, Irvin Kershner came in to direct this like 3 weeks before it started. It's the last movie he ever did. He directed, if you don't know, Empire Strikes Back. So pretty incredible. There's nothing wrong with the direction of this, by the way.
No. In fact, I think it starts out really strong. You know the sequence at the start where there's a woman collecting cans and then a trolley gets hit by a car and then a guy comes to rob her and then a couple of women on the street, they beat him up and then the building behind them explodes. It's like a real Rube Goldberg device of just urban decay. I thought it was delightful.
Perpetual motion machine of crime happening.
That's exactly right, yeah. Oh, also, just side note, there's just a teddy boy looking Elvis guy in the gang. And they've got Elvis's bones.
Yeah, man, they've got Elvis's bones.
Okay, great.
Pretty cool, right?
Yeah. I guess, I mean, that's what the kids want, isn't it?
They love
dead kids,
Elvis.
if you work really hard in the drug trade, you can get Elvis's bones and be machine gunned by a RoboCop.
Absolutely. So the actor who plays Katso recalls that Irvin Kershner was literally ripping pages from the script every morning, calling it awful, while screenwriter Frank Miller would look on mournfully.
Probably why Miller was there. He's got some sort of shaming kink or whatever. Miller, this sucks. Oh, does it? Tell me how bad it sucks.
Peter Weller criticised the script, saying it lacked the spine and the soul of the original.
I mean, it's got a spine.
That's true.
It's in a jar.
Yeah. Weller tried to convince Frank Miller, Irvin Kershner, and the film's producers that the third act needed a morality angle instead of being just a shoot 'em up. But the producers felt the battle between RoboCop and RoboCop 2 was sufficient.
Probably because of the big guns and such.
Yeah, that's probably it, yeah. So the final version of this was heavily rewritten and only bears superficial resemblance to Miller's story. But in 2003, you'd know this, Miller's screenplay was adapted into a comic book series titled Frank Miller's RoboCop. He's the other one. It's me and Frank Miller who call him RoboCop. That was one of the big changes that Irvin Kershner was doing.
Oh, you had to keep ripping the T off the top of every script page.
That's right.
God damn it, Miller.
Now, because of all that I just did, I've only got one piece of trivia. You know?
Yeah.
We got to keep it brief. We got to keep this video tight.
Okay.
We got to keep everybody involved in the video. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand.
If it goes too long, if I say explain something at length, and people aren't interested, they might drop off. So
That's exactly right.
We're trying to just listen. We're trying to avoid that here.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So if you have anything to say, think about it properly before you say it, because we'd hate people to drop off. If one of us.
Is this some sort of
Might.
producer's style scam where you want people to drop off? What's happening?
Okay, so this section's called Trivia Cop 2.
Bang!
While displaying RoboCop's new directives at the police station, the cable plugged into his head is actually a water supply coupling for a toilet.
Nice.
I hope it actually is, because that would explain a lot of RoboCop, just filled with toilet water.
Just sloshing around in the mean streets of Detroit.
Now, the original film of this, Edward Neumeier and Michael Miner were immediately approached by the studio for a possible sequel.
Because they scripted the original?
Correct,
All
yes. They had a very rough outline for a movie called RoboCop Corporate Wars. So in this draft, RoboCop was to be shot and pulverized to metallic dust by a cannon in the very beginning.
An old-timey Civil War cannon?
That's right. He would be resurrected 25...
Where'd you even get that? He said.
I don't know, it was next to Elvis's bones. He would be resurrected 25 years later in an even more dystopian future, if you can imagine, Mason, where he becomes a pawn in the struggle between an all-powerful corporation, the government, and an impoverished population.
And here's a fun little twist.
Yep.
He falls in love with Detroit City's computer.
That's hot stuff.
That is hot stuff.
So you might have seen this in live action because this bears a striking resemblance to the pilot episode of the first RoboCop television series from 1994.
I have seen it. It's bad.
Yeah, it's not great. Look, we're not going to look at those this time around, but if they ever get around to making RoboCop Returns, we probably will. And speaking of, in 2019, it was announced that Umaya and Maya's rough draft would be the basis of RoboCop Returns, which is an alternate sequel to RoboCop 1987 and ignores everything afterwards.
The Halloween in it.
That's right. Now, this is the last time that Peter Weller played RoboCop in live action.
That's
He's
right.
voicing him in the new video game that's coming out.
Voiced him in Mortal Kombat 11.
Exactly. So I feel like with what happened with Indiana Jones 5 and Michael Keaton returning as Batman, I'd imagine the studios are rethinking that at the moment. I would love to see it. I would love to see it, but
I would like to see him in another... Like, if we're doing the sequel, I would like to see him in another role. Like, maybe he's the mayor of Detroit or something. They
Sure.
put him back in a human body somehow. You
Yeah,
know, just give him
okay.
a nice little appearance like that. I think that'd be a bit of fun.
but then at the end it becomes RoboCop, yeah?
Then at the end, he becomes RoboCop and he teams up with new RoboCop and then he passes the torch and he's like, you're just as good a RoboCop as me, which is why we'll do a sequel to this. You know, and they shake robot hands. That's the only way you can do it these days.
Yeah, you might be right.
Yeah.
Passing the
Also, there's a
torch.
girl RoboCop.
Oh my God.
There's a team of girl RoboCops. You can tell because they have a little bow on top of their robot helmets.
Perfect.
We're Miss Pac-Man in it.
Now, the box office for this, on a $14 million budget, the US box office return was 45.7, which was okay. The international numbers for this are not really around.
Yeah, you had a quick squiz. You couldn't find them.
Yeah, it was more than a quick squiz. I did my proper research, Mason.
Did you sign up for IMDb Pro?
No, I didn't, but I don't want to do that.
I bet it's right there.
It's probably not there.
Folks, if you're watching this and you are signed up to IMDb Pro, please click one thing and we'll know.
Anyways, we're going to get back to the real RoboCop sequel, RoboCop 3, the one where he gets a jetpack.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. We're going to be playing some RoboCop that is going to blow your dick off. Did that sound inappropriate?
No.
Okay, cool. Because I feel like in the context of RoboCop, that's fine. But if I had have said it outside of that context...
If somebody has started this video and then immediately skipped to this moment, they'd probably find it a bit weird. But in context, I think it's probably
okay,
fine.
perfect. You know, going into RoboCop 3, I was genuinely interested. I'm invested in this character.
Oh, yeah.
I like its universe. I like how so far, you know, the first two at least, I'm feeling good about this.
Okay.
I want to know what RoboCop is up to now.
Absolutely.
And then I realized, oh no, these movies are bad now.
They sure are.
Ah!
Has it made the first two worse like by process of some sort of osmosis?
No, I mean, that first one is just like, it's dynamite. The second one, I like it
Smaller
enough.
dynamite.
Yeah.
This is just some sort of firecracker on a holiday that blows your thumb off. And you're like, that sucks and not even in a fun way.
Exactly. Welcome back to Caravan of Garbage, everybody, where we are working our way through the RoboCop film series. Please leave a like if you could. Now, a bit of background on this. This was filmed in 1991, but not released until the end of 1993 because production company Orion was going bankrupt.
Oh, yeah.
So that's fun.
I mean, fun for us. It's always fun to hear about a bankruptcy.
It's fun in hindsight. It's like when you blow your thumb off, and then you think back and you're like, I wouldn't be the same.
That's
if
right.
if that hadn't happened to me, you know?
That's true, yeah.
Yeah. So they were in a bit of trouble. They got bought out. This movie got finished, and they shoved it
Did
out.
it get
into
finished?
Okay, they put a cap on it. How about
They
that?
sure did. They sure did.
But it's not all bad news because it was estimated that the production of this film actually brought an additional $10 million to the Atlanta economy. So that's good.
Well, that's wonderful.
And that eventually led to the TV show Atlanta, presumably, somehow.
You think so?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, I'm really interested in the minds behind this because Frank Miller has returned. Now, in RoboCop 2, we know that all of his ideas pretty much were thrown in the bin and he eventually worked that into a comic book. But this time around, what they did, he wrote the story, mapped it all out. He's feeling pretty good. He's glad to be back in Hollywood, and they did the same thing to him again.
What?
Yeah.
Brutal.
So he actually left Hollywood and didn't return until 2005 Sin City.
Oh yeah, of course.
And then, of course, The Spirit. But, you know, that's another movie that I started and went, no.
Yeah,
no.
I've never gotten to the end of that.
Yeah.
Which means we're gonna have to get to it
Probably
at some point. Yeah.
But here's a quote from Frank Miller. Working on RoboCop 2 and 3, I learned the same lesson. Don't be the writer. The director's got the power. The screenplay is a fire hydrant, and there's a row of dogs around the block waiting for it.
Yeah, just some thirsty dogs. Some thirsty, hot, dry dogs.
That's right.
Boy, that's very poetic. Good
Yeah.
work, Frank Miller.
Absolutely.
What's the fire hydrant? Hollywood?
Yeah, I guess.
Writing, directing.
The screenplay is the fire hydrant,
Terrific.
and there's a row of dogs around the block waiting for it. So the dogs, the audience?
You would think the implication there is the executives of the dogs.
Yeah.
But then, like, if you open up a fire hydrant, you can wet all the dogs you want. There's still plenty of water.
You can
know
wet
what I
so
mean?
many
You can
dogs.
wet as many dogs as you wish.
It's practically limitless.
Yeah, right? Maybe that's what he means is his ideas are practically limitless.
The story this time around, how do you feel about it? Corporations are out of control.
Corporations are out of control. We thought they were doing good. You know?
Yeah. They built a robot cop.
Right?
For the city.
We, the people of Detroit, thought OCP were doing such a stellar job.
Yeah.
This movie is way less cynical than the previous two, and it's for the worse.
Yeah,
It's-
definitely. Now, I don't think this is a hard and fast rule. Having a kid in a movie doesn't necessarily make it bad, but it can often indicate a bad turn for a series.
Absolutely.
Not always. Terminator 2 is a fantastic movie with a very annoying kid in it.
That's
you
right.
know?
That red-headed kid. Yuck.
No, he's great.
Oh, I haven't seen him, officer. You son of a bitch. That guy's a cop. You respect him. I don't know where John Connor is. Ugh.
Unbelievable.
Right?
Who raised that boy? Who raised that young man on his little motorcycle?
Probably a couple other redheads. Yuck.
No doubt. But yeah, it's never a good indicator. It's weird though that despite this being made very child friendly, because that's where they were going with this. There were toys, there was an animated series, all of that. There's still multiple suicides in this movie.
Yeah.
I mean, they're played for laughs.
Sure.
So
yeah.
that's fun, I guess. But of course, the biggest change in this movie is we've got a new robot cop. Peter Weller was unable to reprise his role because of scheduling conflicts with Naked Lunch,
Of course, yeah.
which is a movie and
Not just a thing he gets up to. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, he might.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't want to do a naked lunch with friends? Or by yourself?
Yeah.
It's probably better
Well,
by
that's
yourself.
just Hollywood, isn't it? The world's a bloody fire hydrant and everybody's having a naked lunch.
He actually had discussions with director Fred Decker about returning, but again, it just didn't happen. So now we've got Robert John Burke, who I think does an okay job in a bad movie in an impossible role.
Yeah, look, I remembered his sort of RoboCop mannerisms being way worse than they are. I think he's got the walk down pat pretty much.
Sure.
The voice doesn't do it for me though.
No, the voice really takes me out of it.
Unfinished business.
And also he's more quippy in a very contrived way. There's a moment where he goes to get revenge on the rehab troops that kill Officer Lewis, and one of them's about to light a cigarette and he's like, I'll take care of that. And then he blasts them all with a flamethrower. I'm like, you just stand around there for like 20 minutes? For one of those guys to go on a cigarette break. Or you wait for one of the guys to say, boy, I sure don't have a lot of bullets in me. And then he can be like, I'll take care of that. Bang, 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 bang,
Oh, wait,
bang.
I just need to change the attachment on my arm. I mean, he was up against it because he was hired specifically because he fit the measurements of the suit.
Oh, no.
They took the suit from RoboCop 2, they repainted it so it's less blue. So it was basically like, we need a guy who can fit this.
Yeah.
Because that saves on budget. Apparently the neck didn't fit him at all and was quite painful.
Okay,
I mean,
great.
it's a painful situation regardless.
You can't adjust the neck? Just,
Nah.
Okay, then, great.
Nah, you can take it off.
Yeah,
Give him a turtleneck.
that's right. Yep.
We've upgraded you, RoboCop.
Murphy, we've salvaged some of your neck skin from your coffin.
But you know, I like that he's got a gun arm. That's cool. You know, again, I don't think it's anything to do with Robert John Burke. I think he did a pretty good job, again, in this very difficult situation.
He's done good work since. I did some good work on Rescue Me.
Oh,
Remember that
Rescue
show,
Me.
you
I
know?
remember that.
He was on a little show called Gossip Girl. I don't know if you remember that.
Oh, my God.
He was the Gossip Girl.
He gossiped.
That's right, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Wow, that's hard work.
Yeah. I think Nancy Allen's good
Yep.
as ever as Lewis, of course, but
I mean, they give her something to do this time.
get machine gun to
Yeah,
death.
she does.
That's right. And there's a moment where RoboCop's about to fight the rehab guys, but he can't kill them because they're OCP employees.
Yeah.
And he like shoots down at their feet, and then he just lets Lewis stand in front of him.
Yeah.
Murphy, you're the bulletproof one. What are you doing?
His neck is exposed now. He
But
doesn't want to get shot.
That's true. I suspect Nancy Allen probably wanted to go out in a blaze of glory.
Yeah.
And I think the squibbing is pretty good. It's not OCP executive being murdered by Ed 209 good, because obviously...
You can't in this.
You can't in this. But it was, pretty... There's a decent amount of squibs on it.
Yeah, I agree. Also, her death in this movie was publicly revealed a year earlier.
Oh, no.
For reasons that we will talk about. But yeah, she's great as always.
Well, they should have, given us a fake out like they did in Star Trek 2,
Exactly, just like Star Trek 2.
She gets machine gun and like riddled with 1,000 squibs, and then it turns out it's the Kobayashi Maru simulation.
Oh, also, perfect opportunity to have second RoboCop.
Second RoboCop, right?
Can you imagine such a thing?
No.
No, me neither.
Yeah. I mean, second RoboCop, or a scene in which she is turned into a RoboCop and pulls her own head off.
Sure, absolutely, yeah. So the violence in this, the studio mandate was obviously tone it right down. And we see that when Edward 209, he just riddles some cop cars with bullets. RoboCop at the end when he busts into the warehouse to kill everybody. Or whatever wherever he busts into. That thing that he does in every movie. He busts into a place and he kills everybody.
That's right.
He's using a flamethrower.
Yeah.
As opposed to riddling everybody with bullets.
Which you'd think it'd be cool as hell.
Yeah.
But it's usually not.
Nah.
It's, he's flamethrowing people and they're like, oh, my skin.
That stings. But I tell you what, I do like Bruce Locke as Otomo.
The Japanese RoboCop replacement, the
Yeah.
android ninja. I do as well. I like his... I like the fact that he can convert his face from just stoic robot warrior to just absolutely like deranged mess.
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
that's impressive. The moment where he gets his jaw knocked off and he has to like sort of wrench his jaw back into place.
Yeah.
Looks incredible. That's great work.
Completely agree. I think there's definitely something T-1000 about him. Whether that is intentional or not, because this was filmed in 1991. I mean, there is morphing in this movie, of course.
Oh my God,
I mean,
there's
there
so
has
much
to be.
morphing. There is a moment where Murphy he hurtles down the information superhighway cyber hole of his memories, and and he comes across like the face of his ex-wife that then morphs into the face of the new girl in his life.
The woman he knows.
Yeah, the woman he knows.
The other woman he knows. Because the third woman he knew got shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great stuff.
Oh, which reminds me, what a cavalcade of just TV stars of the 90s in this.
Who have we got?
We have Rip Torn.
Damn.
From the Larry Sanders Show, of course, as the new CEO of OCP, who's not really committed to the role. I mean, Rip Torn is, but the new CEO is just like, I could take or leave this job, really.
I don't know, Japanese investors? Sure, why not? Or
Whatever,
not,
I don't care.
Yeah.
We get Bradley Whitford.
Yes.
Soon to be in the West Wing.
Oh my God,
Incredible.
he's gearing up. You can tell.
That's
He knows it's coming.
Yeah. We get CCH Pounder. We get, of course, Stephen Root from News Radio.
That's right.
And
he
other
is.
things, but at this time, News Radio.
News Radio, yeah.
And of course,
He's the stapler guy from Office Space.
That's exactly
Sometimes we have to name specific roles, otherwise people will say, I can't believe you didn't mention that very specific thing that they're in.
yes, exactly right. And of course, we get Jeff Garlin as the guy in the donut shop.
Ooh.
Who, of course, you'll know from the movie I Want Someone to Eat Cheese With. Is that the specific reference you want? You dogs.
That's the one I wanted.
That's right. And of course, we get Jill Hennessy as Dr. Lazarus. You'll know Jill Hennessy as Jordan Crossing from the TV show Crossing Jordan.
I remember. Because if you cross Jordan, what happens?
You get a crossed Jordan.
That's
She
right.
becomes very cross. But what a world. Just a bunch of very talented people just slumming it, I feel.
Surprised me.
Or is this their first foray into
For some of them, I would
like
say.
big Hollywood productions maybe, and then their talents were seen elsewhere probably?
You might be right, yeah. I just wanted to quickly get back to the storyline of this. So basically, OCP, in conjunction with the Japanese, have decided to drive everybody...
The Japanese Kanemitsu Corporation, not everybody in Japan.
Really? No, I think they speak on behalf of all Japanese people.
You think they took a vote?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, great.
That they're going to basically push people out of their homes to build this new city they've been talking about for 3 movies now.
Delta City.
But they also have the help of a grey-haired gentleman who has these corporate cops and the regular cops, the real cops, the heart of the city.
That's right.
They don't necessarily want to borrow this. They don't want
Yeah.
to be throwing people out of their homes.
Back the blue, I say. Don't back the light grey.
Doesn't even
Right.
work, does it?
This doesn't even work. And of course, they've chosen, the absolute most despicable example of an evil villain, a British man.
God, he's so evil.
Yuck.
But I feel like though with the villains, the timing of it doesn't work. For example, with the Japanese cyborg robot, who's just a robot, I assume, and not a man at all.
Well, I mean...
Because there's 3 of him.
Yeah, there is 3. That's true, yeah.
Unless they were triplets, I don't know. But RoboCop only meets one of them like 10 minutes before the end. And then he meets another 2 10 minutes later. I feel like that's something you do way earlier. And you show how dangerous one of these things are, and he barely gets through it. And then 2 show up at the end, right? That's kind of the way that you'd think
Absolutely.
you'd want to do it. I don't know, man.
You do it mini boss, full boss style or whatever. You know, like in a Dark Souls or whatever, you fight one of them, and you're like, boy, tough boss battle, and then later there's 2 of them.
Yeah.
You know?
And you go, I hate this game, and you put it down and you never play it again.
Correct.
Yeah.
Or you get good, scrub.
I don't have time for that. Why don't you make a game that's accessible to me? Why don't you bend around my abilities, Mason?
That's a great point.
Why is it always me caving to big gaming?
That's a great point.
Mario should be shorter, is what I'm saying. The first Mario.
Super Mario Brothers on the
Yeah,
NES.
yeah. Well, I could do that first level pretty easily, and I would love it if that was the end.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, at the end, the police take a stand. The police chief specifically is like, I'm not going to do your dirty work, you British fuck. He doesn't say that because he can't, because it's not that kind of movie. And at the end, the whole community stands up against these corporations, and then RoboCop's like, I've got a jetpack, look out everybody, and he's flying in, and you think it'd be really cool, but it's not really.
It's quite bad.
I don't know whether it's, like, it doesn't look necessarily terrible for the time, but it doesn't feel earned. I'm not like, God, he really overcame a bunch of stuff in this.
There's a moment in it where he's flying across the ruined cityscape, and there's all the rehab cops there fighting, and he just stuff starts blowing up.
Yeah.
And you're like, is he doing that, or
Yeah, he's
just
doing
is it just the warranty on those cars expiring and they're just going up on their own?
Yeah, that might be it.
Yeah, you're right. All that goes down, but of course, Dr. Lazarus, she opens up like a pirate broadcast channel, and she goes to every TV in the city, and she's like, "Hey, everybody, you thought OCP had all your best interests in mind, but actually they don't." and everybody's like, "Oh my god, she's right." And then we cut to like the OCP offices, and the CEO's being told that their stock price is tanking, and he's like, "We're ruined."
They'll be fine.
Yeah, it'll be fine, I think. Yeah.
I think it's hilarious at the end as well that after RoboCop defeats and kills whoever he has to or whatever.
Okay, so here's what happens. He defeats British Man by blasting his feet with jetpack fire.
Something happens.
Yeah. And the little kid defeats the 2 Otomo robots by reprogramming them to cut each other's heads off.
That's cool.
Yeah, and that's exactly, if for people wondering.
I like his broken up face.
Yeah, that's an homage to what happened to Rocky and Apollo Creed after the freeze frame at the end of Rocky 3.
They beheaded each other.
Yeah, they punched each other's heads off.
Oh my God.
Yeah, pretty cool, right?
I hope they're all right.
No, they're dead.
Oh, no.
The remaining movies are just their last neurons firing and just a beautiful dream they're having.
Oh, that's no good. So Rocky dreamed he had cancer for a bit?
Yep.
Rocky dreamed he wasn't in Creed 3?
That's correct, yep.
Wow.
Yep.
That's fantastic.
Pretty good, right?
Imagine having a dream where you're just sitting something out. Just being
Oh my God, yeah. Just cancelling, like you
that's
want,
like double rest.
yeah, my God, you have a dream where you really want to cancel some plans, and then your friend calls up and cancels the plans already, and you're like, oh, I'm pretty disappointed. Back to sleep for me.
Oh, terrific, yeah.
And then he died. Because his head was cut off.
His head was cut off, yeah. But it's also interesting because despite this Japanese corporation, who was speaking on behalf of the entire Japanese community, was that something you said, I believe?
Yep, agreed.
That at the end, they've been defeated, and he's in the street, and he like bows to RoboCop out of respect, and it's like, what the fuck is this? What do you? I don't understand. Like, why would RoboCop even care if this guy likes him who tried to destroy him?
Yeah, right.
What does that matter?
You said guys to cut his head off. Come on.
It's so weird that RoboCop didn't kill him. And then Rip Torn's like, hey, what's going on? I like you, RoboCop. And RoboCop's like, we're not mates.
That's right.
And that's the ending.
Yeah. I think that's a beautiful message, that you can tell someone you're not their mate. You know? Honesty is the best policy. That's what he's learned. That's what he's learned over the course of these 3 movies. It's nothing about duty or,
love
or finding scraps of your humanity and becoming a new person or whatever. It's realizing you can tell someone you're not mates anymore.
You can be a bit rude.
You can be a bit rude if you want to.
Yeah, so there you go. Now, according to director Fred Decker.
Oh, yes.
That's great to say, by the way. Try that at home. He had some regrets about this movie, unfortunately. He said, if I had to do certain things over for RoboCop 3, it would be hiring an Asian stunt team for the fight sequence between Robo and Otomo.
Now, okay, that is probably very accurate
Yeah.
and true. But also, I feel like that wasn't the trend at the time in Hollywood.
Absolutely not.
I don't know when that interview's from, but I'm going to take a wild guess and say it's after The Matrix came out. Because then, obviously, it would make sense after that. But prior to that, it's,
Yep.
Why would you bring in outside guys when you've got some regular guys?
It says they caught him here coming out of the screening of The Matrix.
Yeah, that'll
Reloaded. He didn't see the first one.
Yeah, right.
That's weird. Isn't that weird? He would have made the flying sequence really exciting and really different.
Yes, that's
cool.
right.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And he would have added more humor.
You know, if we had more time, we'd make this video better as well. Just better.
There's one of these a week. What do you want from Ben and Lawrence? They're trying their best. They're killing themselves for you guys.
That's right.
Show some respect.
But if they could make it a bit better.
I would love that. I don't even know what specifically you would
Yeah,
do.
if they could just be inspired more. You know? Like Fred Decker would have been.
That's right, yeah. He would have also added more humor.
Just better jokes.
Yeah.
Just add more jokes, you know? Ben and Lawrence, if you could just add some more jokes. Just find one of those email forwards from back in the 90s filled with old jokes and just stick some
plonk it in, more for his characters to do and do more special things with it.
Okay.
Look, man, it's bad. But also, what do you do with RoboCop 3 when they're like, make it more kid-friendly, also we've run out of money?
Yeah,
Like, what do you do?
Yeah.
You know, I think he did an okay job in this situation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Anyways, it's time for 3 trivia. The trivia section. When we do trivia, it's not 3.
I think in retrospect,
Yeah.
if you had more time, you should have come up with a better title for that.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think you could have.
Yeah, but I didn't have more time, did I?
No.
I only had this whole week to come up with it.
That's true, yeah. And you were too busy watching The Matrix Reloaded, so.
Listen, I also need people to know, because they say to me, James, why didn't you say like Robo Trivia or something like that?
Yeah.
I'm intentionally trying to make these as aesthetically unpleasant as possible.
Understand.
Just so people know. It's actually harder to make it unpleasant.
This seems like a Fred Decker style retcon to me.
So this is just really for me, but somebody actually says Robot Cop in this movie.
RoboCop.
I love that.
Love that. Jeff Garland said he had eaten 36 donuts during the shooting of the donut shop scene. There you go. Unlike the first 2 movies, this one, and you'd probably know this, did not receive a novelization.
Interesting.
Alan Dean Foster mustn't have been available, I'd imagine. And due to repeated delays faced by the film's production, Ocean's RoboCop 3 game, which was an adaptation of the film and closely, it followed the plot sort of. It came out on PC and Amiga 2 years before the film was released, thus spoiling it for players.
That's right.
So that's how the Nancy Allen thing happened. And the other thing is, we've actually played this game and other RoboCop games. We have a series called Never Go Back. It's paywalled.
That's right.
Just so you know, it's paywalled.
That's right. We lured you in and then we tricked you with the paywall thing.
That's right.
But you're already there on the website, bigsandwich.co. You're already there.
That's right. Now, the box office for this movie on a budget of $22 million seems wrong, but all right.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
It doesn't look terrible.
No,
really,
I
does it?
agreed.
Yeah.
But again, that's probably because all we're really focusing on is the RoboCop suit and they stole it from the last production.
Yeah, you're right, yeah. So the box office return was $47 million. So this made money back and enough that they went, okay, we're going to try a TV show. Oh, that TV show didn't work. Okay, we're going to try another sort of mini TV show in the early 2000s. As mentioned last week, we might come back to those another time. But what we're really going to look at next week, the big one, the real deal.
Oh, yes.
Is the 2014 reboot.
Oh, my God. RoboCop 4. They call it.
That's what they call it. And that's what it's called.
Yeah. I consider that a separate beast. The
Definitely.
remake. So how do you feel about the trilogy overall, having just done the full rewatch?
I mean, one is incredible.
It is, yeah.
And the other ones make it look even more incredible.
It's true.
Again, I like the second one, but it's not a patch on the first.
And I think this one as well, it dropped the ball again. But I understand why it's following on from the second one, obviously. But they dropped the ball again on making Murphy just a weird robot again.
Yep.
I didn't like it.
Yeah.
Just if they're gonna do a reboot of this, and they will.
Yes.
Because people remember it somewhat. Let the next actor show his humanity.
Let him live.
Let him live.
Let him run free.
That's right. Let him run free in the fields. Oh, they did that in RoboCop 4. Remember?
Oh, yeah, he does run in
goes
the
on the
field.
run, yeah.
And I'm kind of curious, do you feel it's necessary to remake any movie? And if so, what's a RoboCop remake going to be?
No, to redo movies, like some of the great movies, is really,
Sinful.
it is.
There should be a list of 25 movies that you should not ever touch.
Welcome back, everybody, to Caravan of Garbage, where we're talking RoboCop 2014.
Oh, come on, mate.
We got to.
Do we got to also cover RoboCop Prime Directive when RoboCop fights another RoboCop? We're going to cover that.
I mean, we will another time.
Oh, come on, mate. James, I was trying to point out the pointlessness of just constantly chasing the content, and the content will never end. Do we cover the Marvel comic book where he gets sent to Iraq? We cover that? Or wherever it was, somewhere in the Middle East? They give him a rocket pack and another gun or something?
He's sent there to do good, though, right?
Yep. Yep.
Cool. Okay, that's great. Leave a like if you could, everybody, because obviously off the back of the 2012 reboot of Paul Verhoeven's Total Recall,
Oh, yeah.
they thought, what's next? What's another thing we can sanitize?
That did poorly and everyone hated it. Let's do another one.
That's right.
Although I don't hate it, honestly.
It's all right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. On the back of it, most people hating it and some people going, no, it was all right. That's slightly more accurate to Philip K. Dick's original story. We can remember it for you wholesale.
Yeah, because they got the elevator through the center of the
It's
whatever.
Colin Farrell
Yep.
and Kate Beckinsale.
And Bryan Cranston.
What?
Yeah. Well, that's like this movie. You look at the cast and you're like, oh, shit.
Great cast. I think Joel Kinnaman's pretty good in this role.
I mean, he's good in general.
Yeah, I mean, there's scenes where he's, at the start of the movie where he's still human, but nobody cares about those. What we're in this movie for is when he's just a face, and that's all he's got to work with. He's got to work with the face.
Yeah.
And he's serving that face.
He's serving face, everyone.
Serving that face.
Yeah, absolutely.
But otherwise, we got Michael K. Williams is in this, the late Michael K. Williams. He's great. Michael Keaton's doing really well. Gary Oldman, who I find unrecognizable in this role for some reason. It's just Gary Oldman, but sans beard and glasses and looking like Commissioner Gordon.
Also, he was horny Dracula. He can be anybody.
So true.
Gary Oldman is just... He's really killing it in this movie.
Yeah.
You feel the emotion and the conflict like coming off that character.
Yeah,
You know, when
yeah.
you see an actor and you're like, wow, you've done some acting. I can
You've done
tell.
some acting before. You didn't have to do any acting in this movie, technically, but you've chosen to do some anyway. But we get Australia's own Abby Cornish is in this.
Absolutely.
Jackie Earle Haley as a one of those slime balls he plays
Yep.
so well.
Rorschach, for people who don't know.
That's right.
Probably his most famous role.
Jay Baruchel. Doing some good work. I enjoy his work.
He's doing the slick 80s kind of cokehead.
Yeah, of a sort.
Yeah.
And of course we got Samuel L. Jackson, the sort of the
He's Bill O'Reilly.
He's Bill O'Reilly. It's the new version of the media break.
Yeah.
That we had in the previous movies.
And it looks like he filmed all those scenes on a blue screen in one day.
Absolutely.
So the origin of this movie, Joshua Zetumer wrote the script based off the early unfinished draft of the original movie by Edwin Neumeier and Michael Miner.
Interesting.
But apparently Paul Verhoeven insisted that this was kind of the wrong approach. And he wanted this idea of, this brutal satire of a corporate future and all the humor and work all that into it. So they've gone back to a version of this that was supposed to exist at one point or another.
And I think having you just explain that to me, I think what they're going with there, and I think it probably makes sense in a Hollywood boardroom if you're pitching this idea to be like, okay, well, that stuff worked in the 80s.
Yeah.
But we're going to take the original script, we're going to make it very gritty and rounded and now. And look, and that's how I felt upon rewatching this. It felt like they took apart the skeleton, no pun intended, of the original RoboCop and put all the elements down on a big whiteboard and went, we'll do all that stuff again.
Yeah.
And in theory, could have worked. But in practice...
Yeah, I mean, we'll talk about why specifically it may not have. It's studio interference. But making Omnicorp the military-industrial complex and then marketing themselves as this force for good in the world, I think that's all kind of solid off the back of multiple wars where that's clearly not the case. Yeah, I agree. There's some ideas here where you're updating them for the modern day-ish. But I think there's also elements of that original story that they've stripped out, including the fact that this is PG-13.
Oh my God.
But the reason for that was that the budget of this blew out from 60 to 100 million plus.
Okay, and so if they've spent that money,
Yeah.
they want to get it back in the box office, and you can't do that if it's just 40-year-old men who are like, oh, I love the original RoboCop, he's going to shoot so many guys right in the nuts.
Yeah.
I'm in love with it. You got to get the kids in who are going to be like, yay, maybe he'll shoot some guys in the nuts. He won't.
No, he has a stun gun this time.
Okay, if I'm going to be critical of this movie, and I'm absolutely going to be, because that's having a bit of fun,
Are we?
Yeah. Look, much like I would forgive the Bayverse Transformers movies if the Optimus Prime in it looked like the Optimus Prime from the cartoon, like he transformed into the same truck.
For you, that's a 40% better movie, right?
Exactly. I think before I get to the criticisms of this movie, I reckon I'd be willing to overlook a lot of the weak elements of this movie if he kept the classic color scheme from the original movies.
They even do that thing where they're like, we tested this design, but people liked it. And Michael Keaton went, that sucks actually, and no.
But I mean, look, and they do a decent shot at it with his new version, and we see it initially, and I'm like, this is a pretty decent modernized version of this.
Yeah.
And then they ruin it by turning it black.
Yeah.
So it just looks like nothing.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
It turns from like this iconic silhouette with this iconic color scheme to nothing. And I know like it's about the themes and it's about the drama. It's not about the superficial elements. But damn,
It's not just that though, is it?
Damn, it's an iconic look. And you know it's because by the end of it, he gets recolored back to classic RoboCop. And then it's like, and now you're going to have more adventures in the future, RoboCop. You're not, are you?
Yeah.
But I mean, surely the idea would be you start him off in the black suit, and then when it's time to be full RoboCop, you know, when they give him the redesign, maybe the CEO says, my kids don't like the black, they think he looks scary, so let's make him silver.
Yeah, because if you saw this guy and you didn't know what he was, you'd be like, is that Batman? This is Batman's fault, by the way. It's the Nolan Batman suit as a robot. He looks like one of those shot-proof iPhone cases.
Yes.
You know, like the builders
Yeah.
have, so if you drop your phone at a building site, it'll be fine.
That's right, you drop it into your strawberry milk. That's a local reference. Tradesman in Australia loves little strawberry milks.
Your big M.
That's right. But there's a scene towards the start of the movie where he's having a test run of all his equipment in a warehouse, and he's shooting at a bunch of EM-208 drone robots, and there's points in that where I'm like, I don't know which one he is, because they all look exactly the same. But as you were saying, a mere 20 minutes ago, he's got two guns, and one's a stun gun.
Yeah.
Is that because if he was going to kill 100 guys, they'd have to make it an R rating? But if you say, well, he's going to kill 50 guys and stun 50 guys, we get a PG-13? Is that what's going on there?
Potentially, yeah. I think they put it in to be like, well, we can edit around this.
Yeah,
Because whether they put in blood or stun pellets or whatever, that can all be done in post. You can decide that much later down the line.
Also, the fact that he's got two guns means he doesn't have one iconic gun. You know what I mean?
True. He's got one machine gun and another.
And the stun gun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not good. But I do have a question for you, James. If you could have two items ensconced in your robot legs, which enabled you to access them instantly, what would you have?
MP3 players, two of them.
Two MP3 players, that's
Yeah.
nice. Well, I would have my phone, obviously.
Yeah.
That'd be one. And then maybe like an ice cream cone.
But an ice cream cone with no ice cream in it?
No.
It would have ice cream in it.
Yes.
So it'd have to be chilled
It's
then.
refrigerated, yes.
You need it to be clearer, Mason.
Sorry.
God. Even though this is PG-13, I feel like they do some horror elements in this really well. Specifically, that he's just a face and a sack of organs.
Yeah.
They take everything away from this guy. And I think that is genuinely upsetting.
That's where we get some of the best face acting.
When it's peeling away, when you're finding out what's left of him.
That's right.
And you think you can't really take more off him.
Yeah.
God, horrifying. And when he first wakes up and he thinks it's a suit, he's like, get me out of this thing. And they're like, oh, no, you don't want that.
Oh, no.
And I don't even mind the idea that this time around, when he's woken up, he knows who he is. And the horror of it is that he is 100% aware of what has happened to him.
Yeah, right. As opposed to the originals where he's forgotten he's Alex Murphy.
Yeah.
And he thinks it's a product. Yeah.
Not a terrible approach.
Sure.
And in the rebuild, like, they give him a hand and the sack of organs in his brain and his face. Give him his dick. What are you doing?
You don't know they haven't?
They definitely did it.
Okay, right.
Did you see it?
I didn't see it, no. But it's PG-13. What do you want?
Yeah, you're right, yeah. That's what I'd have if I was RoboCop in one of my legs.
A functioning dick.
Functioning dick, yeah.
Okay, right.
Oh, man. I love how Gary Oldman is very tactful with all the patients that he works with and operates on. He's teaching a man to play the guitar again with his robotic hands and whatever, and he's trying to be very understanding, and he's doing this beautiful work. But he's got this assistant who's just this blunt instrument where when RoboCop first wakes up and he's like, it feels weird, it feels like my body. And she's like, yeah, that's phantom limb syndrome because you lost all your limbs. And he's like, excuse me?
But speaking of, Gary Oldman's character, he's working with people with missing limbs and so on and so forth. There's an early scene. He's helping a man find the confidence to play a guitar again. And
play classical gas.
That's play Freebird. And I think it's that moment where I knew this wasn't going to be like the original because he just plays it for a bit and then he loses his confidence and then he stops playing. Whereas in the original, that guitar would end up in somebody's head.
Yeah, everyone would be dead in that room.
That's right. The strings would snap off and shoot into people's eyes, you know?
No, you're absolutely right, yeah. How's about this, though? We mentioned it, but the performance of Joel Kinnaman, I agree. It's quite good. And what they've done here this time around, they've put him in the suit,
Yes.
and then they've mostly CGI replaced him. And you notice that especially on the joints. Like, if you look at his legs, there's no way that human legs could fit within that. And I think it does aid his performance. It is very different from the Peter Weller thing because he is much slicker. He's much more tactical. He'll clear a room like John Wick. Like, it's that kind of situation.
He can run and jump and leap in a
Yeah.
way that the original version can't.
Which, again, I don't think is a terrible idea. And I think it's interesting that when they do shut down his emotions at one point for a portion of the movie, you notice like a shift in his behavior and the way that he operates, like the way that he walks.
Yeah.
Like his posture is completely different also. So I think that's a nice little subtle thing that they added to this movie. He also has the Batman Arkham detective powers. So that's cool, I guess. Remember?
Pretty good. No, it is
He
true.
rewinds a crime in his mind.
Oh, that's true. He does do that. Yeah. There's an action sequence where he finally tracks down his attempted murderer, and he switches on the thermal vision, and it all looks very visually spectacular. But I kind of miss the original version where the thermal vision is clearly just like a bunch of people in weird body stockings
Yeah.
that have been coloured over.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
I also think that, look, is this the time to talk about this? It's not terrible, is it? I think there's some really interesting ideas in here that aren't fully
Yeah.
fleshed
out.
Thank you, yeah. But anyway, I like, for example, some of the corporate decision making in this. Like, before they unveil him to the public, they decide to just upload the entire criminal database into his brain.
I think that's a huge mistake. What were they thinking?
Have you ever tried to update your computer before a presentation or something?
yeah.
Come on. That's obviously not going to work. You set up your PowerPoint beforehand, then you test it, and then you don't touch anything.
That's right. And then it still doesn't work somehow.
But I love also, and they even mentioned this in the movie, that the first arrest he makes in public is a hardened criminal who has just come out of hiding after the last 6 years to watch the RoboCop be revealed.
Why wouldn't you? Who knows what he's going to do?
But the finale of this...
Yes.
I mean, it does a thing where he kills a bunch of people. That's the thing that RoboCop does.
Oh, hell yeah.
He stomps into a room and kills everybody. And I do like that, when you see him getting damaged, one thing you can't really do with the originals that you can do now, you can chip away at him and you can see the inner workings.
You can blow a big hole through the dude, yeah.
Yeah, all of that. You can lose an arm and all of that. And he's fighting Edward 209.
Which they're too competent, aren't they?
Yeah.
If I were to be critical of this movie, and I'm going to be, and I have, and I will continue to do so.
Sure.
The plot thrust is that the evil Omnicorp wants to introduce robots to policing in the United States. But
Which
they're
would be
not-
cool.
It would be super cool.
Yeah.
And maybe it's just memories of the first movie. They seem to be pretty good at their job.
Yes.
These robots. Like, they're not absolute numbskulls. Like, I mean, they shoot that kid. And they shoot that kid at the start.
I mean, he did have a knife.
I would say maybe add a rule that
He could have
says-
stabbed that
That's
big robot.
I was gonna say maybe they could add a rule to the robot cops that says don't shoot a kid with
Yeah.
a knife,
I think the point is that, the technology in itself is solid, but the people behind it are not. Which I guess is the point of this.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing also that I kind of feel like Keaton puts in a good performance, but he also genuinely seems to believe that this scheme will be for the betterment of the United States. Like he genuinely does believe that putting robot cops on the street will reduce police fatalities.
Yeah.
But then at the end, he's just like, but I've got a gun too. I've got a gun and I'll shoot your family, RoboCop. Like, don't turn on us in the last 30 seconds, you know what I mean?
He didn't have to panic, did he?
No.
He could have just gone, don't shoot me and I'm leaving.
Yeah.
And then he probably would have got away.
Yeah.
Because RoboCop has enough time to be like, I think I can shoot him actually.
Yeah, there's a lot of... I would have... If I were Michael Keaton's character, I would have taken advantage of, RoboCop struggling, his humanity versus his programming, and I would have just walked back down the stairs.
Yeah.
If the helicopter wasn't there, just go back down the stairs.
Yep.
He's killed all those N209s. Just walk out.
You know what I think would have been a good way around it?
Yes.
You die hard for it. RoboCop shoots Michael Keaton through himself.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Technically not but he just did it.
He did
He
it,
could
yeah.
just do it.
He could just do
He
it,
could just
true.
think really hard about his family and do it.
Yeah. But I kind of feel like if we had seen...
Give him his penis. What are you doing? Sorry, go on.
The movie needed more scenes, I think, where the policing robots are a genuine danger to
Yeah.
the people. Because, again, they seem to be working fine. I don't know.
They're pretty cool too.
They're very cool. They got that red visor.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
That's cool. Now, one thing we've neglected to mention, and I lay the blame squarely on you.
Good, I'll take it.
Is the theme of this movie.
Or do you mean the emotional themes?
No.
Oh, the musical.
No.
Okay, great.
No, Mason!
Thank God.
So the original theme by Basil Poldoris, R.I.P. by the way, just incredible. But the reason I kind of noticed it here is that it just thunders into the title sequence. And I
yeah.
felt like you haven't really
Earned it?
given me enough to be like, this is a RoboCop movie. And I don't hate the use of the theme in this. Pedro Bromfman did this version, and he does a great job on this score. But it reminded me that, oh, that's a really good score that we probably should have talked about in the other movies.
Absolutely.
you know?
Yeah. But, hindsight is 20/20.
Boy,
Or
is
better if you're RoboCop.
Yeah.
With the thermal.
And you can do the Batman detective thing.
That's right. Oh, also, speaking of the music, this film ends with the song "I Fought the Law" over the closing credits. Makes zero sense. They should have got Nickelback to do a cover called "I Upheld the Law."
And I won.
And I did win. That's right.
Anyway, so of course, as we saw up top, Peter Weller was like, yeah, maybe don't do the RoboCop reboot.
Yeah.
But the other people had feelings on this as well, including Paul Verhoeven. Obviously, you might not know this, but he directed the first RoboCop movie.
Interesting.
He was skeptical of this remake, saying that it was typical of the lack of fresh ideas in Hollywood. He was even less impressed by the finished movie, commenting that, just like Total Recall 2012, your favorite movie,
That's right.
it lacked the humor that made the original work so well. I don't think it is just the humor. I think you could really take a swing at a serious, modern-ish day RoboCop movie. I don't think that's the only thing missing here, but yeah, he's not wrong. This isn't, that really good movie RoboCop.
I've heard of it.
This one isn't as good.
I've never seen it, but I've heard of it.
Yeah, sure. Also, the director of this, Jose Padilla, he expressed his frustration in the lack of creative control he was allowed by the studio for this project. He estimated that for every 10 ideas he brought to the project, the studio refused 9, and he went on to describe the making of the film as the worst experience of his life. When word of this conversation became public, in an effort to appease the studios, he made counter statements saying that actually it was good.
Well, there you have it. But look, honestly, if you're presenting the studio every day with 10 ideas, I think they probably should reject 9 of those ideas.
Yeah?
Because otherwise that movie's going to be really long.
The way I presumed he meant was he'd present an idea and they knock it back and then he'd present another idea.
No, I'm assuming that he said, I'm going to put 10 ideas into the movie today and another 10 tomorrow and another 10 tomorrow.
It's all him riding pterodactyls.
That's right.
Anyway, it's time for Reboot Trivia. I
love that.
2014. Yeah. Here's some names that were considered. Michael Fassbender.
Do you mean as RoboCop?
Yes.
Or just considered generally?
Think about them.
I like that.
Yeah. Michael Fassbender, Assassin's Creed. Chris Pine, potentially Assassin's Creed maybe. I'm sure he was offered,
You
a
reckon?
chance to,
Okay.
Russell Crowe. I can't imagine him being Assassin's Creed, but I can imagine him being in the world of Assassin's Creed.
I can imagine him being on that big swing arm.
Sure.
He's rooting for the South Sydney Rabbitohs or whatever in the stands, but he's on the swing arm from Assassin's Creed.
Absolutely. Obviously, it ended up going to Joel Kinnaman. This movie takes place in the year. Do you want to take a guess?
So it came out in 2014.
Yeah.
2024?
2028.
Oh, I was close.
No, you weren't.
I'm so close.
You're pretty close.
In the span of all recorded human history, I'm pretty close.
Yeah, you're closer than, say, if you said when there were pterodactyls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Jesus' time.
Yeah, Jesus' time. Similar to the pterodactyl time,
I agree.
right?
Yeah.
Also, this is the only RoboCop movie to be released in IMAX. I think by default, probably, though. Right?
Almost certainly, yes.
Yeah. Now, the box office for this, on a budget estimated between $100 and $130 million. It looks expensive, doesn't it?
It does look expensive, and I would say, generally speaking, especially when it comes to the RoboCop visuals,
Looks good.
looks really good, yeah.
It's a good-looking movie. The box office return, though, was $242 million, which is not terrible, but they're expecting, if you put this much money into it, and it's PG-13, and, it's a franchise that people love, I guess.
Yeah.
You
But I mean, isn't that is the catch-22 there, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
if you make it R-rated, probably fewer people are going to see it. I mean, maybe, but maybe it'll do a Deadpool, and people will be like,
I mean, this was pre-Deadpool as well.
Yeah, that's
so there's
true,
no
yeah.
way the studios would have
No.
been like, this will work.
that's true. The other problem there is if you make it PG-13, it's just not
Yeah.
as good and violent.
As RoboCop 3.
That's right.
Yeah. So a sequel. to this.
Oh, go on.
It was in the works.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't make it.
It would explain how RoboCop gets his signature gun. He finally gets it right at the end and he uses it once. And then it's like, now it's time for more adventures, RoboCop. Now you've got your suit and your gun. Wow, this is like the best gun. It sure is, RoboCop. That's why we made you wait 2 movies for us.
Now you'll appreciate it more. Yeah. But they've actually opted for a requel, which is going to be a sequel to the original movie that ignores 2 and 3.
Okay.
It's that situation.
But not RoboCop 2014.
No.
This is happening, is what you're saying.
Okay, so RoboCop Returns, originally it was going to be directed by Neil Blomkamp.
Oh, yep.
He left that project. I think he would have done a really interesting job on it. I know people don't love all of his movies, but I think if you look at his aesthetic, District 9, Chappie,
He could team up with Chappie.
Matt Damon in an exosuit, all of these things.
He could team up with Chappie 48 Hours style.
Oh my God.
That's right. Now, Chappie, we're only taking you out of jail so you can track down these drug dealers. And Chappie's like, I don't know what he sounds like. South African?
South African.
Okay, right. What would Chappie say in this?
I'm going to beat you up, Hugh Jackman. That happens.
Is Hugh Jackman in Chappie?
Yeah, he beats up a bemulleted Hugh Jackman. We've talked about it recently.
I don't believe you.
It's true.
Wow. What, boy, that's for $1?
That's
what he'd
right.
say. That's what he'd say.
That's what he would say.
Chappie
yeah.
would say that.
So Abe Forsyth then came on board. He's an Australian director, if you do not know. And like all Australians, including Abby Cornish, wonderful. There's only one terrible Australian. It's Scott Morrison. Everybody else is the best. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Yeah. But Amazon acquired MGM in 2023, and they've decided to work on both a new movie and a TV series, which will be coming out maybe in whatever order.
Sure, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. I also think there was, maybe I'm imagining this, but like a prequel at one point they wanted to work on, like a Dick Jones prequel.
Not a Alex Murphy prequel. Regular cop.
Regular man.
Regular man at a less dangerous precinct.
Look how good my dick works. Look how attached it is.
Incredible.
Anyways, wow, it's good to visit all the RoboCop movies we've done it, haven't we?
That's right.
Yeah.
And you know what? Also, speaking of
This is better than Ghostbusters 2, you're right.
That's true. Reboots and requels, they're
The Ghostbusters franchise immediately falls off a cliff, in my opinion.
No, that's fair.
Yeah.
They're testing the waters with the new game, the new RoboCop game.
Yes.
I reckon if people respond to that, well, they'll be like, well, people love the world of RoboCop. So
That's right. They love that Peter Weller.
that's right.
Anyways, if you like this, if you're like, wow, great video, great opinions on Ghostbusters 2, guess what?
What?
You can actually see these videos early if you head over to bigsandwich.co. It's like our private Patreon. There's also bonus movie commentaries. There's bonus podcasts. There's video game Let's Plays. We actually looked at a bunch of RoboCop
We
games.
sure did.
Mixed bag.
Wildly varying quality. And if you like Ghostbusters 2, but you don't know our opinions on it, you can simply go back into this channel a few months or possibly years or maybe a decade, I don't know.
Yeah.
And we've got a little review of that.
I don't think any of them are good. Anyway, it's not important.
Wow.
Not important, Mason.
Not even the universally beloved first one?
The 2016 one.
Yeah.
No, that one's good.
Yeah. Yeah, Ghostbusters 1.
All right.
Great.
Great. All right. Thank you to Ben and Lawrence for the edit.
Thanks,
also.
guys. Grab
And-
that gem, you guys. We'll see you next week.
I said but it's going to sound bad in the edit, but
Okay.
it's fine.
Great.
This is the end of the video now.
Wow. It's an embarrassing end for you. If this is the last video we ever do, like if you're RoboCopped in the street or something, what an ignoble end for you, James.
Maybe they'll turn me into some kind of RoboCop YouTuber.
They'll turn you into a vending machine.
That's fine too.